Welcome to the class 9th economics part. In that we are studying about the story of village Palampur. Today the capital needed in farming. The capital what is needed for the farming we are going to study. We have already seen that the modern farming methods require a great deal of capital. See, when the modern methods of farming is started, so it requires a great deal of capital, so that the farmers now needs more money than before. See, before they used to cultivate what they used to get it from the natural and natural resource, cow dung, for gobar and all. They used to use the water which depends on the rain and the canal water. Like this they were depends, but they used to for preparing the farm and all, they used to use the bullock cart and all. So bullock they used to use, and they used to prepare the field and all. But later they to prepare the field they have purchased a tractor for the what the water purpose. They have started depending on the bore wells, and the later the gobers all they've kept it side. They've started using the pesticides and other chemicals, fertilizers and all. So for these and all they have started to require more money than the before. So the most small farmer have to borrow the money to arrange for the capital. They borrow from the large farmers or the village moneylenders or the traders who supply the various inputs from cultivation. For cultivation, the rate of the interest on the such loans is very high. They are put to get great distress to the repay the loan. See, here it is who has to. See, when the money is required for the cultivation purpose, the capital is required. Only here it is difficult for a small farmers. The average farmer or the big farmers, they will have their capital. They will be little bit good at the financial condition. They'll be surviving with that. The small farmers will not have a savings, so they have to go for the borrowing the money with some of the money lenders or other large farmers. Like this they have to go and get it. They have to borrow, they have to take a loan. That loan is the great distress to repay the loan. How the condition will be means it is unable to pay back it. Like that condition they will make it. So if you read this Savita is a small farmer story, you will understand how what kind of a loan interest will be and the condition will be. Okay, and coming to the next point, in contrast to the small farmers, the medium and the large farmers have their own savings from farming. They are thus able to arrange the capital needed. How do these farmers have their own savings? You shall find the answer in this next. If you let us discuss this paragraph, you read. If you find out, you will understand what is it. I have already told no. The small farmer has to struggle because they don't have the saving. These people have the saving because these are the medium and large farmers. What the surplus they get, they will keep it for a house use a little, and they will sell it to the towns like a Raiganj and all. They will get some profit. They will keep saving it for the next capital. Understand? So coming to the third point, I am going to the next page. You understood what is a capital is required. So same way, sell of surplus from production. How does this work out? How does the surplus sell? Let us suppose that the farmer have to have produced wheat on their lands using the three factor of production. The wheat is harvested and the production is complete. what do you farmer do with the wheat? uh, they retain a part of the wheat for the family's consumption, and they sell the surplus wheat. Small farmers like Savita and Govindasan have little surplus wheat because their total production is small, and from this substantial share is kept for their own family needs. So it is the medium and large farmers who supply wheat to the market in the pictures. Next you will get a picture to see. You can see in the bullock cart and streaming into the market, each carrying the loads of wheat. The traders at the market buy the wheat and sell it to further shopkeepers in the towns and cities. See, the sell of surplus from the products. This is one concept. How does it work? See, here it is a small farmer, medium farmers, and large farmers. So the small farmers, what they grow, the surplus, that will not be enough for their family consumption only. They have to keep it for their whole year needs. Same way, the medium and large farmers also does it, but their production is more. They will keep for their family consumption what they require surplus, and the remaining they will sell it to the market. They will sell it to the market, like a Raiganj and Shahpur. They the traders at the market buy the wheat from the medium and large farmers and sell it to the further shopkeepers in the town and cities. This is how the sale of the surplus farm products happen. So, how? For example, the Tejpal Singh, a large farmer, has surplus of 350 quintals of the wheat from all his land. He sells the surplus wheat at the Raiganj market, has a good earnings. What does the Tejpal Singh do with his earning? Last year, Tejpal Singh had put most of the money in his bank account. The later he used the saving from the lending to farmers like Savita who were in need of loan. He also used the saving to arrange for the working capital for the farming in the next session. This year, Tejpal Singh planned to use his earning to buy another tractor. Another tractor would increase his fixed capital. See, this is how the large farmers will take. For example, Tejpal Singh, he had a 350 quintals of wheat. He has uh, from all his land, and he sell the surplus wheat at the Rajganj market. He get good earnings. So what he does, the good earning, he has kept in his saving account. So from that, the who are small farmers like Savita will take lending means taking loan from the large farmers. He will give it to them as for interest, so his money will be earning money. So and he has kept some of the money for next working cap, next year capital, no, for he also needed for what purchasing the seeds, fertilizers, and some other cultivation work. He has kept working capital for the farming in the next season. And when he got last year he does it, and this year what he did, and he has a lot of earning, and he has planned to buy another tractor. So another tractor also will increase his fixed capital, isn't it? So this is how the large farmers does it. Like a Tejpal Singh, other large and medium farmers sell the surplus farm products. A part of the earnings is saved and kept for buying a capital for the next season. So what they does it, same thing, they will sell the products and keep the earning, saved earning, and they keep buying the capital for the next season. Thus, they are able to arrange for the capital for the farming from their own saving. So, because of this, they don't need to go for any loan, any lending. They will keep some of the saved amount for the next season fixed capital, so that they don't need to go for any lending and loaning. They don't need to worry for it. They will have their own fixed capital for the next season. Some farmers might also use the saving to buy cattle, trucks, or set up the shops. As we shall see, these constitute the capital for non-farming activities. Some of them, what they does, they will not save it. They will invest it on the buying the cattle or trucks or some of the shops. They're setting up the shops. So that is the constitute of the capital for the non-farming activities. That is a constitute. So they can that will also give the benefits for them. This is how it goes on. So this is about the farming. So here it is a non-farming activities in Palampur. How does it work? Okay, let us study. We have learnt about the farming as the main production activity in Palampur. We shall now take a look at some of the non-farming production activities. Only 25% of the people working in the Palampur are engaged in activities other than the agriculture. What this says here, as per their data, in the Palampur only 25% people are depending on the non-agriculture departments. All other are based on the agriculture. What is the non-agriculture activities? The first one is dairy farming. So the other common activities in the village, it's a very common activity. Other common activity, what is that? Dairies or common activity is mainly families of Palampur. People feed their buffaloes on various kind of the grass and the jowar and bajra that grows during the rainy season. The milk is sold in the Raiganj and nearby large village. Two trades from the Shahpur town have set up the collection cum chilling center at the Raiganj, from where the milk is transported for away town and cities. These dairies, Palampur people, they will sell the milk in other towns and cities, and they will get the benefits. They will lead their life. And these dairies, like in Raiganj, dairies will be there. All the farmers' milk, they will collect it and they will chilling it. And because if they're chilling it, it can be transported to far away towns and cities. You know very well about it, I hope so. And here it is. Second one is an example of a small scale manufacturing in Palampur. What is a small scale manufacturing in Palampur means? It is the second another non-agriculture trade. At the present, less than the 50 people are engaged in the manufacturing in Palampur. Unlike the manufacturing that takes place in the big factories in the towns and cities, manufacturing in the Palampur involves very simple production method. They are going with a very simple production methods, like just like and are done on the small scale. They are carried out mostly at home or in the fields with the help of families labor, and rarely are labor in the hired. And this is how the small manufacturing department will be take place in the villages. And the third one is non-agriculture activities. It is very simple. One is the shopkeepers of the Palampur. Some of the people have keep their own shop for their earning. The people involved in the trading, exchange of the goods are not many in Palampur. The traders of the Palampur are shopkeepers who buy the various goods from the wholesale market in the cities and sell them in the village. You will see a small general stores in the village selling a wide range of items like rice, wheat, sugarcane, sugar, tea, oil, biscuit, soap, uh, toothpaste, batteries, candles, notebooks, pencil, even some clothes. A few of the families whose house are close to the bus stand have used a part of the space to open a small shops. They sell eatables also. This is how the small villages will go on. See, in the olden days, it was shop like shops were not there because exchange of goods were there. So what I have, I will give it to the others. What I require, I will take from them. This is how the going on. But later on, how the days have gone, the shopkeepers have arisen in the villages also, and they used to buy goods from the wholesale markets in the cities and sell them in the village. Just like we have mentioned here, rice, wheat, sugar, oil, tea, biscuits, soap, toothpaste, batteries, candles, notebook, pen, pencil, even some of the clothes also they will sell it. And nearby bus stand who are staying, no, they will also open a small hotels, like we call it as sell the eatables things nearby. This is how the non-farming works were going on. Understood? So fourth one is the transport, a fast developing sector. There are a variety of vehicles on the road connecting the Palampur to Duraiganj. Rickshawalas, tangawalas, jeep, tractor, trucks drivers, and the people driving the traditional bullock carts and the bogie are the people in the transport service. They ferry people and the goods from the one place to another place, and in return get paid for it. The number of people involved in the transport has grown over the last several years. This is another non-agriculture work, transport. They will have a bullock cart to transport the goods and the people, the ferry the people, other bogies, rickshawalas, tangawalas, goods. These kind of things they will give the service and they will be paid for it. This is how it will be going on. So hope you understood the story of village Palampur. So if you read this full story, and this is like just like a summary, so you will come to understand the conclusion. This is the story of village Palampur. This lesson is got over. Okay, if you have any doubts, please get back to me. Thank you.